Alright, third time's a charm. We are up. We are live. Audio's good.
I'll be catching up here in a second.
Got Braden on speakerphone instead of trying to technical difficulty that side.
Yeah, I mean, that might change. I'm updating the Facebook app right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. So are we live?
I believe we are live now. Since you're not pulling it up, I'm pulling it up. Pretty sure since last time I was live, it's live. We're live! Looks like Steph Hebert jumped in. Your rally's here, I think.
Awesome. Hello, guys.
See, turn off that. Woo, cool. Yeah, we got Steph, we got your rally. I think we're good.
We're not refreshing no computer pages.
Nope, not pressing that button no more this time. Oh, okay.
It's crazy that the refresh button takes the signal. Definitely. Boom.
Looks
100%.
like it won't let me put them in. Why not?
Oh, we won't let you put what in.
My polls. That's okay.
Oh, there they.
That's okay.
What do you do?
We just continue on. Technical difficulties aside, we got this. So, since we're starting over for like the third time, we'll just start from the beginning, guys. Thank you for all joining us. Welcome back. Hopefully we get Iris back. Before diving into animal spirits, I want to start with beginning with a moment of respect and grounding. The idea of animal spirits is something that appears across many different cultures and traditions, from Indigenous and First Nation teachings in the Americas to Celtic and Norse stories in Europe to Siberian and Mongolian shamanism, and even into the Eastern traditions like Chinese mythology. Each of those holds its own unique context, practices, and meanings. So tonight isn't about trying to claim or replicate any of those sacred teachings, but rather it's about noticing a universal truth. Humans have always looked to the natural world for wisdom. Animals mirror our instincts, our struggles, and our journeys. So let's open with curiosity and humility, knowing that animals can be archetypes, symbols, or companions, depending on how we connect with them. So why do animals matter? Animals have been here on Earth far longer than humans. And in that time, they've carried immense wisdom, resilience, and adaptability. Think of the spider weaving her web, or the wolf honing his hunting skills, or the frog surviving the harsh climates. Each carries knowledge that mirrors the challenges that we face in our own lives. Modern life has pulled us further from that wisdom, but animals are still here as guides. They offer lessons not just for survival, but for resilience, healing, and balance. So I'm going to read a little summarized excerpt from this book, Animal Wisdom by Susie Green. In almost every culture, whether in the frozen tundra, the jungles of the Americas, or the forests of Europe, there are ancient stories and traditions that speak of a time when humans lived in harmony with the natural world. This worldview imagined three realms: the lower world, the middle world, our Earth, and the upper world. All were connected, and all were filled with the spirits and essence of nature. In this perspective or lens, humans weren't separated from animals, plants, or the elements. We lived in harmony with them, understanding their wisdom, learning their languages, and even moving between worlds through dream and spirit. Even every being, from the thunder and dragonfly to beaver and sun, it had its own consciousness, its own voice. And this reminds us that everything is interconnected. We can't poison rivers without harming the fish and in turn ourselves. We can't harm animals without also damaging the balance that we live within. When we forget this connection, we forget part of ourselves. But when we remember, when we notice, listen, and honor these other beings, we re-enter into that deeper relationship with life.
I like that.
So, in the Animal Wisdom book, it goes through some of the different cultures from like the indigenous Native American traditions and speaks of the perspective, their use, and some examples. So today I'm going to start with the Native American traditions. In an overall perspective, animals are seen as kin, as teachers, and spiritual allies, like family, rather than resources. The bond with them is woven into ceremonies, into storytelling, and daily survival. It reflects a worldview of deeper interdependence. And each tribe's teachings are unique, so generalizations can't really be made. But if you think of the American animal symbols that we see most generalized, we see like the eagle, and the eagle is seen as a messenger between the earth and the spirit realms and represents vision, truth, courage. And we can see that reflected also into the eagle being like our nation's animal. You know, think of the feeling that it wells up when you see the eagle painted across an American flag. You could see how that is represented as like strength and courage and a ferocity. Freedom. Yes, the animal of freedom. Vision,
Especially
truth, courage.
About the fact that like eagles are big enough to take off with small deer, you know? Like that is wild to think about the strength of something and being able to fly with it.
Being able to fly with a deer in its talons, flying off with little dogs. And you also see the bear, and that's also representing strength, introspection. The bear hibernates. Healing. The bear is often associated with the medicine people. If you've seen Brother Bear.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
He was put in the body of a bear for a reason. Wolves.
Talk about like embodying your spirit animal, right?
Well, that's another side to like thinking of animal spirits as a guide. It's not just the thing that you're thinking of, that you're wishing for. It's also that shadow side. What is it trying to teach you? Why is it showing up in your life so much? Wolves represent loyalty, community, intelligence, guidance on the path of life. Turtles are often seen all over. It represents earth, longevity, and creation. For example, the turtle island as a term for North America.
Really? I never knew that.
In the Celtic and Norse traditions, the core idea there is animals in Celtic and Norse myth often act as omens, as messengers or shapeshifters between worlds. It's just showing how humans depend on both wilderness and mystery, also symbolizing the deep relationship between humans and the wild, which is often also tied to deities. All the different myths and legends behind there. Like, the big one is always the ravens for the Norse mythology. It's always associated with Odin's companions, Hugin and Munin, Hugin and Munin, bringing thought and memory. Ravens also bring messages and knowledge from the other realms. So, if any of you have seen any of the other movies or shows out there, or like even any other pagan themed shows, when a raven shows up, or Wednesday Addams, a raven always showed up as like an omen, or some, ravens can speak, so they're also relaying messages, sometimes cryptic messages that you would have to figure out. The stag is also known in the Celtic myths. It's a symbol of sovereignty, connection to the forest, and masculine vitality. Sometimes it's linked to, oh my gosh, how do you say it? The horned god.
Not sure. Spell it out.
Cernunos, Cernunnos.
I would think it was Cernunos. Not entirely sure though. Can't remember. Was there ever a soft C? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable enough about that particular.
Also, you've got the boar in the Celtic, symbolizing courage, protection, warrior energy, often appears in the myths of feasting and battle.
I am a warrior.
You've got the wolf, also in the Norse tradition, is an ambivalent figure. Fenrir, the great wolf of destruction, but also wolves as loyal protectors and companions. In the Norse and Celtic tradition, animals were bridges between the human world and often the other world, guiding warriors, kings, and seers, all alike. You've also got shamanic practices globally in Siberian and Mongolian traditions. The core idea there is that their shamanic traditions view animals as spiritual allies. Shamans often call on animal helpers for healing. In the colder, harsh landscapes in those areas, animals were protectors, ensuring survival through hunting, traveling, and spiritual journeys.
That makes sense.
Shamans relied on animals to bridge between ordinary and the non-ordinary reality. In these traditions, animals aren't just symbols, they are active allies encountered in visions, dreams, and trance states. So in the harsher climate, you've got the bear, revered in Siberian shamanism as a powerful ancestor spirit, and it represents protection and healing. Similar in these traditions as well. You've also got the horse, which is essential for spirit journeys, and it's often seen as carrying the shaman between worlds. You see a lot of like raptor birds, like an eagle or a hawk, which allows flight into the upper worlds, bringing visions and messages again. And the wolves are also another one in this tradition. They are guides through wilderness of spirit, providing sharp perception and survival wisdom.
Ooh, I like it.
And lastly, we've got the Eastern traditions of the Chinese mythology. Their core idea in the Eastern traditions is that animals represent energies. You've got the yin and the yang, you've got the elements, virtues. Animals embody cosmic forces. They're linked to the heavens, to the changing seasons, and to virtues. They aren't just creatures, but they're part of an order of the universe. They shape fate and destiny, and they often appear in myths, zodiac cycles, and cosmology. So you see the dragon in all sorts of Eastern traditions and paintings and all over.
Not to mention the Chinese horoscope, right? Like, I know I'm a metal goat in my Chinese horoscope.
I only heard about the element with it just this year.
I remember that conversation.
We gotta get your cousin on here to talk about birth charts and stuff. I'm saying.
I just talked to her about that. She wants to talk about not just natal charts, but she'd be down to talk about functional medicine.
Functional medicine?
Yeah, I think it has something to do with not just the foods that you eat, but I don't know. She's been on a journey to heal her gut health, and she's finally gotten back to the point where she can have sourdough bread without it destroying, like, leaving her in pain and cramps and whatnot. So she's learning how to rebuild the lining of her stomach and
her intestines. That's where a lot of the irritation starts, is the things that you eat. Yes. Also, it'd be exciting to get her in here.
Those would be fun to do for sure. Yeah, we'll have to correlate with that.
Yeah.
I'm like seeing the weirdest set of lights. Oh, it's a bar light. I'm seeing a bar of lights driving away. Not shaping a car though. But yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked.
Okay, so animals in the Eastern traditions. Dragons. They represent power, transformation, control of water and the weather. They are bringers of prosperity and strength. Dragons represent so much. Huge, huge deities. Huge animal in the tradition. Tigers also. Courage, protection, martial power. One of the 4 symbols guarding the cardinal directions. You got the white tiger of the west. Phoenix. Phoenixes are a big one in Eastern tradition. They represent rebirth, renewal, harmony. They're a symbol of the Empress and balance with the dragon, the Emperor.
Let's not forget death. Like, they are intimately tied with the cycles of life and death.
Rebirth, renewal. Yes, you can't have rebirth without death. Renewal without destruction.
Believing that one path is step into another.
The tortoise is often associated with the snake. You've got the black tortoise of the north. They represent longevity, wisdom, and cosmic balance. And then you've got all the zodiac animals. Each year's animals shapes personality and fate. The rat equals resourcefulness. The ox is perseverance. The rabbit is gentleness, and so on and so on.
No, keep going. Do you have more?
I don't.
I want to know
Not
what
all of them.
is. How dare you?
Well, I can pull them up.
That information.
Well, that's a whole lot of years.
I guess. Well, no, because there's only 12 zodiac signs throughout the years.
Chinese zodiac signs. We'll just read them off for you. You've got the rat, which represents... Oh, I don't get a rundown with each one. You've got the rat, the ox, the tiger, zodiac signs, and personalities. Let's see the signs and meanings. Oh, there we go. The rat is intelligent and adaptable. Oh, but I don't have the year.
You don't need the year, because the year is always ever-changing.
So the rat is intelligent and adaptable. The ox is diligent and dependable. The tiger is courageous and passionate. The rabbit is calm and elegant. The dragon is powerful and charismatic. The snake is wise and mysterious. The horse is energetic and adventurous. The goat is empathetic and creative.
Yes.
The monkey is curious and clever. And the rooster is observant and hardworking. And the dog is loyal and sociable. And the pig is honest and generous.
It's cute. My daughter's a pig.
The Chinese zodiac is a 12-year cycle, with each year represented by one of these animals. The animals assigned to your birth year is thought to influence your personality, your strength, and your potential challenges through life. And I know for sure, I just saw a video on Mr. M on TikTok, and he pulled up a book of his astrology, and his heritage hails from India, and I guess when you are born, you get a little book with your whole chart in it. And
that's so cool.
Similar to the Chinese zodiac, it's supposed to lay out your strengths and your struggles, and it gets incredibly in depth. There's like 12 pages to this little book, and it's a little red book. I'll have to find that video and share it to the group, but animal spirits. So in the Eastern tradition, animals here embody the cosmic forces and virtues. They are archetypal. They're teaching humans how to live in harmony with heaven, earth, and destiny. So the overall point is that many cultures have their own ways of relating to animals spiritually. It's universal, though it's expressed differently. And here I'll hand it over to Braden for his tidbit that we get.
It's half of the Wichita. Alright.
Yes.
They're animals, a living connection. Can you guys hear me, by the way? I guess I have my volume turned down, so if you guys can't hear me, let me know, and I will try to speak up some. But spirit animals are more than symbols. They're companions, messengers, and mirrors that walk beside us in ways both subtle and profound. They can show up in dreams and synchronicities, in challenge, and even in the quiet rhythms of everyday life. Before I continue, spirit animals is something that I feel is tying you more to the spirit of an animal that is sticking around, that's hanging out, that's got a lot to show you. I think we have animal messengers that show up as a nod to synchronicities, a small shift in something that you're trying to do, confirmation, things of that nature. And then spirit allies, I'm feeling more along the lines of, like, that's something you call upon to take on the spirit of an animal, the strength of the tiger, the swiftness of the rabbit, so on and so forth, however you end up tying yourself to the appropriated animal. But, yeah, so for...
Appropriated or appropriate?
Appropriate both, because, like, appropriating is, like, to pull it into your life, right? Like, appropriation is, I don't know, the collection or gathering of something, I think. Don't quote me on that. I can't look it up right now, but that was my understanding of it. So, for running through this, I'm going to use the term spirit animal, and we'll try to interchange them as the situation of what we're speaking about happens, but
The action of taking something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission.
But then isn't that misappropriation? If it's taken without permission? No, misappropriation is using something in an inappropriate way against, I don't know, I don't really agree with that.
The unauthorized use of
the things.
Yeah, resulting in harm to that person or that culture.
Okay. So there's a bit of a difference there. Alright, so the way they show up in daily life, dreams and meditations, they visit our altered states as guides. Synchronicities. The same animals show up again and again in odd and meaningful ways. And as we go through all of these things, we will tap into like recognizing and understanding and becoming aware of those patterns that we're coming across. Embodied traits. We find ourselves moving like them or carrying their qualities in certain moments. For me, it's the fox. The fox is very, very prevalent in my life. It always has been from a very young age. And I feel like I gravitate towards the mindset or mind personality that a fox is normally given, that cunning, sly, trickster energy. Shadow encounters. They sometimes show up to challenge us, reflect parts we avoid, challenge us to step into the areas where we need to acknowledge ourselves, whether it's a weakness, it's a bad habit, it's a shying away of something that we don't have confidence in, or just a few examples. Maybe they show up in situations where you know you're not supposed to be in. And then there to be like, hey, you know better.
Yes, like not every animal feels friendly or comforting. Some of them show up as tricksters, predators, or symbols of fear. For example, like a spider or snake or a vulture are spirits that may make people uncomfortable, yet they carry powerful lessons about patience, death and rebirth, or transformation.
Especially the snake. Like the snake is the shedding of the skin. It's getting rid of old layers. It's really, truly a potent version of letting go of what doesn't serve you. And like shedding skin, you don't have a choice. Like, a snake moves because it's grown. It's outgrown its old skin. It can't keep it. It won't keep it. So when you're seeing that in your life, it's a very strong indicator of a transformational period in your life that you really can't avoid. Or if you do, it's going to hurt. So why they appear? Guidance on the path, nudging us towards our choices, mirror of the inner state, showing us where we're at the moment. A call to growth, like we talked about the messenger of shadows, surfacing where we resist or fear, and then confirmation and support, showing up as a wink or affirmation when we're in alignment.
Showing up as a wink or an affirmation. I like that. That's quite a perspective.
Like a big one for me is after I've made a choice or I'm in the middle of making a decision based off of two possible outcomes, I see hawk. When I see the hawk, it really lets me know that my mind thoughts are in the right direction towards the path I want to go on, and helps me make one choice over the other, or just comforts me in knowing that, like, all right, my choice that I made was like right on because I made that choice, and there's the hawk.
Or sometimes, I think that it was in a movie or something, somebody's mother was associated with a butterfly.
So every time I saw
Or no, that was the I Am Legend. And when a butterfly landed on that zombie at the end of the movie, it told him not to kill it, or it let him know not to kill it. Still, again, a flying creature bringing messages from other worlds, heavens.
And then we step into practices to deepen the connection. You can do tracking, which is journal your animal encounters. Start watching for the patterns. Where are they showing up? When are they showing up? You can step into embodiment. You can move, hold the posture or gesture like your spirit animal. Get yourself stepping into their rhythm of life to see how it reflects yours, or enhances, or changes, or shifts, or what have you. Invocation. Ask before decision. How would my animal face this?
How would my animal face this?
And it would depend on the animal that you have surfacing for you in that moment. That feels really connected to what it is that you're asking of. looking for direction in. You can draw, you can wear or carry the imagery of your animal to be able to evoke the spirit of it. Offerings, giving them thanks with words, symbolic gifts, maybe a small burn ceremony if that's your thing. If you have an altar, or you can build an altar to set up for your spirit animal. And putting that altar there, guys, it's not a form of worship, it's a form of focus. It allows you to constantly remember the thing that you want to keep prevalent in your life and keep your mind open to the thought patterns of it. Is really what I feel altars are for. And then your meditative meetings, guided journeys to meet with them in liminal landscapes. If you can do your own guided meditation, awesome. If you can find a good one, even better. Sitting down and just getting curious about an animal and the nature of that animal and the personality of that animal, and letting your mind just kind of take off with that, I feel is another good way to really connect. And then recognizing their presence. What animals keep showing up in repeated or unusual ways? When you see an animal, what emotions, sensations, or thoughts stir immediately? Because that helps you know, like, is this an animal showing up for my shadow? Is this a confirmation? Is this, like, I need transformational work? Do I need to work on one of the 5 pillars? And then, if this animal carried a personal message, what's the first thing your intuition whispers?
Ooh.
So these are mindfulness practices to allow you to become more aware of living creatures, recognizing the whole passing messenger thing, brief appearances, situational guidance, a reminder or a nudge. The ongoing ally. The outgoing ally appears across seasons and phases, resonates at a soul level, it becomes part of your way of being. And then asking, has this animal become a part of your life? And how you live, how you choose, how you express. When you start asking, like, how your animal shows up in those modalities, you really get a clear understanding of whether it's a spirit ally or if it's something more. Every animal is a messenger. Some are travelers who gift us with insight, and some choose to stay, weaving themselves into our long journey. Either way, they remind us we're never walking this path alone. And that's all I have for these spirit animals. Does anybody else have an animal that they feel connected to at this point in time? What about you, Whitney? Gia?
What animal has been crossing my path lately? What animal has been crossing my path lately? You know, snakes.
It may not even be animals, it may be insects.
Well, yeah, I keep thinking spiders. Spiders are huge in my world. That and wasps and bees. Oh no.
Your vibe is waiting for a video signal.
No, don't do that to me. That sucks. I have a beautiful thing I want to end with. Why does my internet suck? Are we back? Ooh. Oh, thank you, internet. It's still showing a loading screen.
Yeah, your eyebrow shifting side to side. There it goes. And now I don't have.
Ooh, okay. Cool. Cool. But yeah, wasps and bees are another one. At one point, I got stung underneath the eye. I was really scared of wasps. My husband has this beautiful, like, what's it called? Jupiter ascending.
Alright, well then we'll just keep on going. Oh, yep, it's back.
But, Yeah, I've come to a more peaceful understanding with wasps and bees,
That's
and
beautiful.
that's pretty cool.
I really don't have a whole lot of problems with bees and wasps. They hang out, they go, they do their thing. I
It's kind of
treat
the
them
same
like
thing with spiders
friends.
though too, because small spiders freak me out, but big spiders are pretty cool, and I encounter a lot of spiders in my household. I have come to a peaceful semi coexistence with spiders, if I shall say myself.
You think the spider is like one of your spirit allies?
You know, I would say the things that bring the most fear and resistance would offer some pretty deep, meaningful lessons, yeah.
And it builds so much growth. You're not wrong. Like you
Mm-hmm.
get the biggest amount of growth from surrendering to the resistance, especially when you take a moment to think about what that resistance is. Like, why am I really resisting? Is it really because it's not for me, or is it because I don't want to put the effort into the change or the experience? You know.
For sure.
Mhm.
Do we have any comments for
Spirit animals.
spirit animals? Or, what was the other question?
Animal minerals.
When you think of animal spirits, which side speaks most to you right now? Guidance and protection, shadow and challenges, strength and empowerment, or cycles and balance?
I think mine have been, actually, I think it might have been shadows and guidance.
Yeah.
And a lot of foreshadowing. A lot of the animals coming into my life were like, all right, buddy, this is what's going to be happening, so get ready. Is really what I'm like starting to feel like. Like, you know, an animal shows up in my life and it starts to be really prevalent, and it's going on that like 2-3 month marker. I'm like, okay, what am I missing? Like, what's about to happen, or what is already happening that I haven't been quite aware of yet? Is where my brain goes a lot.
What have I got to look out for? What am I looking out for?
I think the big one I watch for is intuitive feelings. When you're like, when an animal shows up in a really unexpected way, or you've got such a strong gravitational pull to seeing that animal, even if it's an everyday occurrence or not out of the ordinary, but for whatever reason, it really just, there was a direct pull to seeing it, to looking in the space where it was going to occupy. Those are the moments where I'm like, all right, that looks like a sign. I'll be aware of it. See if I can see the animal mark with it.
It's almost like there's a cost for ignoring them.
You know, I don't know if it's a cost as much as it's like, it's just when they show up, life
A consequence?
is easier. Well, life is easier when they show up because they're there to guide you, right? And so if you don't take that guidance, you're not going to be punished. But on the flip side of that, you don't have the guidance, so it feels like if they're ignored, there's a cost to it because
There's an imbalance that follows.
Yeah, I love that. There's an imbalance that follows. Like, get ready to teeter and totter.
Yes. So I've got this little bridge section that also comes from my animal wisdom book to close us up.
All right.
In almost every region, tundras, jungles, forests, mountains, there are stories of humans once living in harmony with nature. Many of these traditions share a cosmology of 3 realms: the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. All are filled with animals, or spirits of animals and nature. In this worldview, humans weren't separate from animals or the land. They lived in solidarity with them, sharing wisdom, learning their languages, and seeing them as conscious beings. This reminds us that everything is interconnected. Poisoning a river poisons ourselves. Harming animals disrupts the balance that we live in. And forgetting this connection is forgetting part of ourselves. But remembering brings us back into the right relationship with life. So as we close tonight, I want to leave us with this thought. Animals have always been our teachers. Whether it's the hawk soaring above, reminding us to see the bigger picture, or the turtle reminding us to slow down and carry home within ourselves, the lessons are everywhere. It's less about finding the perfect animal that defines us, and more about staying open to what animals are showing up around us and inside us. So as you move into the rest of your week, I invite you to pay attention. What animals cross your path? Whether in your waking life, in your dreams, or in signs. What might they be whispering to you? So thanks for joining us for the third time's the charm and keeping curiosity alive, and for holding this space of exploration with me and Braden. May the wisdom of the wild walk with you as you continue your journey. You got anything else to add, Braden?
Correct, spell my name wrong. No, I think that's a great note to leave off on. That was a beautiful reading.
All right. Well, I don't know how to end this live because it's still showing me a loading screen. So I'm going to do the dreaded